you can't time the market. You should do what's right for the business, and then everything else will take care of itself, right? As long as we focus on growing our revenue, which we've been doing really well in and will continue to do, maintaining a very, very strong EBITDA margin, which Grindr's had, and satisfying our users with an amazing product, the market and the price of the shares and all that will take care of itself.
Some of your competitors have been pretty hammered this year. I mean, Match, I think, is off about 63%. Bumble shares are off about 28%. I mean, what's Grindr's growth strategy? I mean, give me some specifics in terms of how Grindr expects to buck the trend in tech right now.
Totally. Look, Grindr is very unique in two ways, I think. Number one, we're actually growing and are making money at the same time. Most tech companies, and I've been a tech entrepreneur for years, have a hard time doing that. And number two is we are very early in monetization. So even though Grindr has been around since 2009, it hasn't really thought about making money for that long.
I saw that Grindr has 11 million active users, but only has 765,000 paying users.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you narrow that gap?
One of the experiments we need to run, for example, which is something we've only recently started to think about, is maybe offering a cheaper tier in our subscriptions, right? Our
subscriptions
start,
what Netflix did.
Yes, it starts a little bit high. They're on the kind of higher end compared to some of the other companies. So I think experimenting with a cheaper tier is something we need to do. But on the flip side, we also know that we have power users who use us a lot for a lot of different things. Maybe for those users, we can actually have additional features where we offer a VIP kind of subscription that's even higher, right? So there is a tiering that we need to think about. And then there is also kind of add-on features, right? Like a la carte features that we need to offer as well.
Grindr has not certainly been without its challenges and its controversies, most notably, I think, the cybersecurity issues, the privacy issues. I mean, there have been some really awful stories about people being outed without their consent. I mean, what is Grindr doing to address that?
Yeah, so all of that happened under previous leadership that hasn't been around for a very long time. In 2020, U.S. government, CFIUS, ordered a sale of Grindr from Chinese ownership to American ownership, which was, I think, a very right move for our users and our product. And the new team that's owning Grindr now, and the management that was in place for the last couple of years, as well as management and I'm inheriting now, we are obviously super focused on privacy. It's really important. We can't be successful at being this awesome product for our users and our customers without having privacy and without having safety. So that's very much top of mind, and I think there's a lot of stuff that happened unfortunately in the past, but it's all very much in the past, and there's a totally new team in town that cares about this in a very serious way. Like, I'm a gay man, I have a lot of gay friends, a lot of us use Grindr, and it's very personal for me to make sure that our product caters to our community in a very strong and personal way.
As an executive, what keeps you up at night?
One of the things about the community that we serve is that it's not always easy to be gay in a lot of places, right? And we are in a lot of the countries where people are prosecuted, where it's illegal to be gay. So my single biggest worry about, in this job is like, are we doing everything that we can to make sure that our users are protected and safe in places where they're not going to be safe because of the government pressure or societal pressure? And what else could we be doing to make their life be safer? This is one of the most amazing things where, like, you are this amazing business, but you're also on this mission to help millions of people have a better life. And this week Senate passed the gay marriage law, and so obviously we didn't plan to go public the week that happened, but it's actually incredible, and you get goosebumps thinking about that, right?
How are you feeling just as a tech player? You're seeing all of the major tech players either shed jobs or hiring freezes, rising interest rates, macro uncertainty.
Well, look, a lot of tech companies, and some of them are run by my friends, probably overhired in the last couple of years. They probably grew too much and they spent too much money. Grindr has not had that luxury because we've been very focused on profitability and ensuring that our EBITDA is very strong and positive, and we'll continue to do that, right? So I think being very judicious in how you spend money is important.
And then lastly, if you had to describe this economy in one word, this economy is?
Weird.